Keith is also the Deputy Director of Geauga Park District. Keith, coming up on 50 years with the Park District.
Yes, that will be our anniversary next year. We have some great things in store, a lot of new parks opening, and we hope that everyone comes out and enjoys the parks.
One park that I'm really interested in seeing come through is the one out in Thompson or Montville, the Observatory Park.
Observatory Park, that's under active construction right now, and we look to open that next year. We'll have an observatory out there and a public building. And some very interesting outdoor exhibitry, which will help people explore the evening skies.
As I drive around the county, I do see improvements to a certain number of parks. Maybe simple improvements, right? A sign here, maybe an archway, but tell us about that.
Well, you know, some criticism came that, you know, you're putting all your resources into the new parks and they look wonderful, and the parks that we've always enjoyed here for 30, 40 years are looking a little run down and not as modern as the new ones. So our planner, Aaron Young, as part of his tenure here at the Park District, has come up with a revitalization plan for all of our parks. I know as you go by Best Preserve and Big Creek Park, you'll see those new signs, new entryways, new pergolas and restrooms, which really have helped jazz them up, and it gives a signature, making all of our parks look very similar.
And the Best Preserve, as you've referenced, really received a lot of attention over the last few years, hasn't it?
Yes. In fact, we had a dedication out there a couple months ago. A new pavilion and restroom was put in the back lot, and the loop that goes around the pond has been completed. So you no longer have to walk out to the end of it and walk back. You can do the complete loop around Best Preserve. Yeah.
Keith, there's been some criticism of the Park District over the last year or 2 years and so on, you know, about how much land is being used and the budgets, and how do you address all that internally?
You know, the criticism is hard to take, but we know that there are pockets of people who have that feeling that we have already enough land and protection. You know, certainly what we went on our last levy, which was about 10 years ago, part of the levy promise, and the reason why the levy passed, was for land acquisition. So we've been following through with that promise and purchasing property. You know, when you're in a rural atmosphere like we are here, oftentimes that criticism does come up. But, you know, as you look 50, 100 years down the road, as the community grows, just like in Cleveland, people then begin to see the wisdom. And if you look at the emerald necklace around Cuyahoga County, I'm certain that there's no one that enjoys that park system right now that wouldn't agree that 50 years ago it may have been seen as buying too much land, but right now it's a wonderful gem that they have. And that's certainly what we're looking to for the future here for the residents of the county.
When Geauga Park District does acquire property, correct me if I'm wrong, you're not acquiring it to just preserve it, but actually to turn it into a place that we as residents can visit.
Yeah, certainly part of the long-term plan is to make sure that we provide access to parks. Some pieces of property, just due to the sensitive nature of them, are kept as preserves with limited access. However, the goal is to phase them in over time and to provide the public access with either a small lot and a pavilion and some trails.
People often think that maybe the Park District is just about physical features, the park itself, but in fact, the hundreds of programs that you guys provide to the community every year are used by thousands.
Yes, we have a wonderful group of naturalists, and our natural resource management staff and rangers all put on wonderful programs that are free to county residents and are very popular and well attended.
Last thing we'll talk about is the attention that Geauga Park gives to volunteerism. It's not just an arbitrary system, but you actually have an established person that coordinates volunteerism. People can earn you know, pins and T-shirts and stuff, right, Keith?
Absolutely. We have well over a couple hundred active volunteers at any given time. And if you look at the hours that they give, last year, I believe it was equivalent to about 10 full-time employees, which is just a tremendous savings to the Park District and the residents of the county. And their dedication and their assistance that they provide to the Park District is really immeasurable.
Well, keep up the good work here in Hambden and, of course, countywide with Geauga Park District.
Thank you very much, Chris.
You're welcome. It's Keith McClintock wearing a few hats here in the county, doing a great job. Nice to see you, Keith. And our coverage of the 2010 Hambden Township Community Picnic continues here on GTV.